Hi guys, it's Helly and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm discussing the books that I'm currently reading. I'm reading both fiction and non-fiction. So no matter what type of book you'd like to read, I hope that you'll find something that you will like in today's video and pick the books up. All the links to all the books will be in the description below, so you can check them out. And yeah, without any further ado, let's get into today's video. The first book that I'm reading is one that I was sent for a review, and this is called The Penthouse by Neeraj Sharma. If you have been intrigued by books like The Godfather, maybe you will like this book. This book is about Vito Ricci, who is someone extremely involved in the world of crime. Obviously, we have read a lot about these people who have been convinced that there's no way they are going to make it big by staying on the good path, and Vito Ricci is one of them. If you are someone who has related to these kind of people when you watch movies or read books about them, maybe you are gonna love this book. Okay, I'm not really a person who enjoys this genre, but what pulled me into this book was the writing style. It is very good. Okay, I have read a couple of books by Indian authors in this sort of a genre, but I was not impressed because the writing style was not good. When you're writing about something dark and sinister and there's crime involved in it, the last thing you want is to read a bad writing style to express what's happening, because you want it to pull you inside. But Neeraj Sharma is very capable of doing that, which is why I think I was able to persevere in reading this book in the first place. Because if I am reading a genre that I don't like much and the writing style isn't good, I probably wouldn't end up reading it. But that's not going to happen for this book for sure. The conflict in this book arises when Vito Ricci seems quite successful, but I hope that you've heard this quote: keep your friends close but your enemies closer. Make sure that you have this quote in mind when you're reading about the conflict in this novel. If I say anything more than that right now, I'm gonna be spoiling this book for you, so I won't do that, but I'll highly recommend this. So if you want to buy it, the link to buy this book will be in the description below. Thanks a lot to the author for sponsoring today's video. The next book that I want to talk about is a non-fiction that I found on Storytel in the Chinese self-healing category, and this is called Sheng. Is it me, or have you noticed this too, that a lot of books are being written about concepts that are adopted in other cultures? For example, there was this book of Haigi, there's Lagom, there's Ikigai. There are so many books that I'm reading these days that are introducing me to habits and other cultures, and I love it. So talking about Sheng is basically a process of self-healing, but it is more focused on prevention of something that is going to damage you. Okay, it's not saying that go to extremes to do something, but sort of a moderate way of leading life that will be very fruitful in making you happy. I'm reading this book on Storytel, so if you want a 30-day free trial of this platform, the link is storytel.com/Helly. This will give you a 30-day free trial, and you can listen to as many books as you want on the platform. There are like 1 lakh plus audiobooks. Sheng is a book that pulled me in just because of the title, I'd say, but I am so happy that I did, because I'm learning a lot of new things. Okay, when it comes to self-care, I think books get very repetitive, but since it's a different culture, I think I'm loving it. Okay, the next book is a book that I actually got from the library, and this is called 20 Fragments of Ravenous Youth. I'm gonna rave about this book because I loved it so much. This is probably the only book in today's video that I am done reading, but I want to talk about it. Zhalo Guo is a brilliant writer. The writing style in this book is so flowy. When I started reading my last Chinese writer, it was Eileen Chang. Somehow it didn't pull me as much as this writer did. Now, 20 Fragments of Ravenous Youth is about this girl called Fen Fang, who is working as an extra in movies, and she is from a very small city, and she has come to Beijing to pursue her dreams. This is the story of every person who is sitting in the mud reaching for the stars. It's so good. I put up a story on Instagram and I said that this is not the book which will give you a earth-shattering revelation or a brilliant climax. This is just a book whose words slip through the cracks of your soul. And I'd read one particular passage that I really liked in this book. People always say it's harder to heal a wounded heart than a wounded body. Bullshit. It's exactly the opposite. A wounded body takes much longer to heal. A wounded heart is nothing but ashes of memory. But the body is everything. The body is blood and veins and cells and nerves. A wounded body is when, after leaving a man you've lived with for 3 years, you curl up on your side of the bed as if there's still somebody beside you. That is a wounded body, a body that feels attached to someone who is no longer there. I love this part so much, okay? It talks about separation so beautifully, and yeah, there are so many passages in this book that I loved. If you want, I can put them up on my Instagram story so that you can check them out today. So let me know if that's something that you'll want. But yeah, highly recommend this book. The next book that I'm reading is also a non-fiction, and this is called Good Habits, Bad Habits by Wendy Wood. I talked about this book in my last video, I guess. This is a book that I wanted to read because I love books about habits. I loved Power of Habit. I love Atomic Habits. By the way, Atomic Habits, I do find it better, by the way. If you are reading one book now, I'll suggest Atomic Habits now. Good Habits, Bad Habits by Wendy Wood. I'm sort of developing mixed feelings about this because a lot of things are quite repetitive. Now that's perhaps because I've read quite a few books on habits already, so it's hard to write absolutely new things about a particular topic, I guess. But I would say that if you want to read a book about habits, instead of this one, you should probably go for Atomic Habits. Okay, this book is also available on Storytel, and this particular book is also available. All of these are available on Storytel. But the point is that if you want to invest your time in only one, I'd suggest Atomic Habits and not Good Habits, Bad Habits. Because I feel that sometimes this particular book can get a bit more technical and not a lot of people might enjoy it. So yeah, there. I really wanted to love this book a lot because usually I do love books about habits so goddamn much. But it didn't happen for this particular book. Next book is also a non-fiction that I'm reading, and this is called How to Lead in a World Full of Distractions. And this book is something that I picked up because last day I was filling my journal about how I can reach my dreams faster. And there was a question that went something like, what are the biggest hurdles to your growth? And I wrote distractions because that's what's happening a lot to me. Okay, I'm getting distracted while studying, working, etc, etc. Usually I get distracted by studies when I'm working and by work when I'm studying. That's so weird. I'm pretty sure anyone living in this century will agree that our world is full of a lot of distractions, and we really need help. We really need to reconnect with the things that really matter and stop being distracted by who liked your post or who went to travel where. Okay, so in this book the author is saying something like, these days we have the world at our fingertips. Earlier, if there was a question that you had and you didn't know the answer, you probably didn't think about it much, but today you'll think about it, you'll search for it, and I think that's a good thing. But these days we are never fine with not knowing, and there are things in the world that I guess we would be better off if we didn't know. So I have mixed feelings about this particular line, but it really made me think. Okay, I really hope that by the end of this book I will be leading a less distracted life, and this is a book that I really want to make a video about as well. So that's why I'm taking more time with this book than the other ones. The last book is not really a book that I am reading now, I'd say, but one that I have wanted to read properly once again because I sort of couldn't grasp it the last time I read it, and this is called My Enemy's Cherry Tree by Wong Ting Kuo. This is a book about a cafe owner whose wife leaves him for some other man, and after that his life gets extremely complicated. I don't know why I bought this book. Okay, one reason was probably that I wanted to read a Taiwanese author. That the cover is beautiful, the title is beautiful, the blurb it's interesting. So all of that sort of propelled me to buy this book. And I'm pretty much enjoying it, to be honest. But the thing is, I remember last time I read it, I couldn't make any sense of the ending. Okay, if anyone, and it's unlikely that anyone has read it because it's quite an obscure book, but if anyone happens to read it and understand it, please discuss it with me. I know I'm a book related YouTuber and it's kind of embarrassing for me to accept that I didn't grasp what a book had to say, but I mean, I'm a human, okay? I guess all of us have been at a place where we have read a book that we didn't understand, and I don't want to lie about it. So yeah, this book is one of those, and I want to really read it once again and yeah, make some more sense of it. And the writing style was good, okay? So it's not a big problem for me to read it once again. So yeah, guys, those are the books that I'm currently reading and I'll recommend to you guys. I hope that you found something to read from my video. Let me know in the comment section below which book you're reading or which book you're going to pick up from these books, and I'll be back with another video next week. Till then, bye bye.